Decking.
And again, this week, watched a couple who FHA loan, the lender told the borrower that even though they're married, they didn't need the husband's credit on the loan, doing an FHA loan. And you do. So they went ahead, got everything done. And when I mean everything done, they've been through appraisal. They've been through inspection. So they're down over $1,000 there. And the old 1 week out, the underwriter said we can't do it. Well, you couldn't do it from day one. And the reason being is when you're married in the state of Louisiana, you have to include, if you go FHA, you can qualify on your own, but you got to include the debts of the spouse, right? That's the key there. So when you added the debt of the spouse, you don't have to use their credit score, but you got to include their debt. And you can't at this point in life, when you're dealing with something so important, and these were first-time home buyers, so they're devastated right now, right? So they come to me, and I'm going to be able to get them qualified, but James, not for the $235,000 house they thought. See, that's the big difference. So now, and I'm not the bad guy, but I'm the bearer of bad news because what do they say? The truth hurts, right? Sometimes. And the fact is, James, I've got to let this young couple know that they were told incorrectly. And that's what kind of stinks. That's the motivation. You know that why we're here. But, you know, James, that's what we're dealing with. And I guess I'm just confused on, in such an environment where there's so much information, the amount of wrong information, no matter what, talking to a human at some point is going to have to happen when you're making these kind of, like they could talk about Loan Depot. Oh, we're going AI. You know, all these companies, everybody's tried this. Everybody's tried to do something where you don't have to talk to the customer and you could just make money in cash checks. It don't work, Parker. That's my frustration.
Well, and the incentives are sort of built in like that, because in this transaction, that young couple that you're talking about trying to buy their first home, they're out $1,000. So they have a built-in incentive to not have this happen. But the guy who gave them the wrong information, what did this cost him?
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero. So the only person losing here is the client, and is the and I'll tell you, this is why seller agents love me, because heaven forbid I look out for them, right? So this affects them, and that's what stinks there, right? Because now they get the old 1 week before, the underwriter, you know, and I meet with agents every single day now, whether it's phone calls or in person. Number one thing they're hearing right now from lenders is the underwriter told me they couldn't get it done. And that's just because we're in an environment where everybody kind of got in a get-rich-quick scenario, and now you got to really kind of be able to put deals together for clients. That's what this is all about, right? So now it's a little bit stickier. It's a little bit harder. Like we've been talking, you know, the folks wanting to buy now, or the ones who are like, I want to be in a house regardless. Well, maybe they're not, you know, they don't fit in the beautiful box, the 740, 20% down, you know, ready to rock and roll. So those are the things that when we're looking at it, that is just every day a challenge that we're dealing with. And we could do a show on stories, a podcast on just stories after stories after stories, because in reality, just heartbreaking. And especially in a situation like this, because now you got a young couple, guess what? Gave up their lease. So they get to go move in with mom and dad, right? Like, it, you know, so it's a whole bunch of just stuff going on like that.